Okay, so for what feels like ages now, the whole crypto world has been talking about this one big idea, right?
Yeah, the stablecoin dream.
Exactly. Stablecoins taking over everyday payments. You grab your coffee, pay with USDC, forget about Visa, forget about Apple Pay. It felt inevitable,
A
almost.
really powerful vision. Cut through all that old financial plumbing.
But, well, billions of dollars later, it kind of feels like a mirage, doesn't it? Like it just hasn't shown up when you actually go to buy
That's
something.
true on the consumer side, yeah.
So if that's not the winning move, if that's not the knockout punch, then what is? What's the real killer use case here?
Well, that's the interesting part. While everyone was watching the retail space, something else was happening. Quietly. A sort of unstoppable force building up around how people actually get paid.
Get paid like salaries.
It's exactly. Global employee payroll. So our mission today, really, is to unpack why that's become the quiet champion. Why payroll, not buying coffee, is where stablecoins are genuinely delivering that transformation we all expected. Just not where we were looking.
And we're digging into an essay that lays this all out, right? It's called The Payroll Revolution: Why Employee Compensation, Not Retail Payments, is the True Killer Use Case for Stablecoins.
That's the one. Lots of great insights in there.
Perfect. So let's get into it. Why did that original vision, stablecoins for everyday shopping, replacing credit cards, why did it just fizzle out?
Well, the harsh reality, I think, is that for your average person, certainly in developed economies, retail payments,
Hmm.
they weren't really broken enough to justify a big switch.
Right. Like, my credit card works fine, Apple Pay is easy, Venmo exists.
Exactly. They work. Maybe not perfectly, but good enough. The
Yeah.
pain points just weren't severe enough for millions of people to suddenly adopt crypto wallets, figure out new ways to transact, manage private keys.
The friction was too high.
Precisely. That whole last mile user experience, it was just too big a hurdle for mass retail. The complexity outweighed the benefit for most people.
Okay, so here's where the plot twist comes in. While everyone's focused on, the coffee cup chimera, a real revolution, you're saying, was building up somewhere else entirely, like a stealth move in the B2B world, specifically employee payroll. And it's not just an idea, it's actually happening.
Oh, absolutely. This is happening now, and the scale is, well, it's huge. Think about Circle's IPO target for June 2025. That wasn't just noise. That's institutional finance saying, okay, this is where the real value is.
Wow.
And look at the numbers. The essay mentions a company doing, say, $100 million a year in cross-border wages. By switching to stablecoins, they could potentially save, get this, $5 to $6 million annually.
5 to 6 million, that's not small change.
Not at all. It's a fundamental cost advantage. It makes stablecoin payroll not just interesting, but almost strategically necessary for companies operating globally. It's a game changer.
Okay, those savings are huge. So walk us through it. What are the specific pain points in traditional payroll that stablecoins just obliterate?
Right. So there are three big ones that stablecoins really tackle head on. First is that cross-border complexity. Traditional international payroll. It's a mess.
Uh-huh. Banks, fees, delays.
Exactly. Multiple banks, currency conversions eating away at the value, correspondent banks causing delays that can stretch for days. Imagine you're a developer in, say, Buenos Aires waiting for your salary in USD.
Yeah.
You've got delays, you've got hefty FX costs, and you're constantly worried about your local currency devaluing before the money even hits your account. Stablecoins just cut through all that.
Yeah.
They operate 24/7. Settlement is near real time globally. Huge improvement in predictability, and honestly just makes employees happier.
Makes sense. What's the second point?
Second is compliance automation. Now, this is interesting. Legislation like the Genius Act, which aims to create clear rules for stablecoins, is actually making stablecoin payroll compliant by design.
How?
Well, it provides a framework. So companies can implement these systems knowing they meet regulatory requirements. They get the audit trails, the reporting capabilities they need for enterprise payroll, but without the constant worry about, regulatory goalpost shifting. It's like built-in compliance.
Okay, so it's faster, cheaper, and potentially easier from a compliance perspective. What's the third one?
The third is employee demand. And this is crucial. It's not just companies pushing this. Employees want it.
Really?
Yeah, the source mentions over 30% of global employees actually prefer getting paid in crypto, especially in countries with high inflation. For them, a stablecoin isn't just convenient, it's a way to protect their earnings from debasement.
That's a powerful incentive.
It absolutely is. It becomes a talent retention tool. If you offer stablecoin payroll, especially for remote international teams, you suddenly have a competitive edge in hiring the best people globally.
Okay, so the why is clear. Big cost savings, solves real problems, employees even want it. But the infrastructure question always comes up with new tech. Is the system actually ready? Are we talking about companies needing to rip out everything and start again?
And that's the beauty of it, especially compared to the retail dream. Retail needed whole new merchant networks built from scratch. Payroll. It can actually leverage a lot of the existing plumbing.
How does that work?
Well, you have companies like Rise. The essay mentions they raised over $6 million just for this enabling stablecoin payments for contractors. And their systems are designed to integrate smoothly with the big payroll platforms everyone already uses. Think ADP, Workday, Gusto.
Ah, so it plugs into the existing systems.
Exactly. No need for a painful full system overhaul. A company can apparently get up and running, making stablecoin payments in less than a week. That's incredibly fast for enterprise tech adoption.
So it's less about replacing, more about enhancing, like
Yeah.
adding a turbocharger to the existing engine.
That's a perfect analogy. It uses the existing chassis, but provides vastly superior performance on the payment rails. And this integration approach, that removes the single biggest roadblock for companies adopting new financial tech.
Makes sense. Avoid the rip and replace headache.
Totally. And the data shows this is where the volume is. Deutsche Bank found stablecoin transactions hit something like $28 trillion in 2024. That's more than Mastercard and Visa combined.
Wow. 28 trillion.
Yeah, but crucially, that volume isn't people buying lattes. It's B2B payments, it's treasury management, and increasingly it's this payroll revolution we're talking about.
So we're really talking about changing the fundamental nature of getting paid. Direct deposit is the standard now, right? That batch process. How does programmable money, like stablecoins, change that?
It completely transforms it. Think about instant granularity. Instead of waiting for payday, you could have earned wage access built right into the protocol. Employees could literally get paid fractions of their salary as they complete work, maybe accessing funds in real time if they need them. That could alleviate a lot of financial stress.
Okay, real-time access. What else?
Then there's programmable splits. Imagine using smart contracts to automatically split your paycheck the second it arrives. Maybe X% goes to your bank for bills, Y% goes straight into a CFI protocol for retirement savings, Z% into a high-yield stablecoin account for emergencies, all automated without needing multiple bank accounts or manual transfers.
That sounds incredibly powerful for personal finance.
It is. And think about global uniformity for big multinational companies. Right now, paying someone in Lagos is vastly different from paying someone in London. With stablecoins, you could have a single, unified payment system. Everyone gets paid the same way, with the same speed, transparency, and these programmable features, regardless of location.
That's huge for global operations. But it raises another question. Deductions, benefits, taxes. That's always a massive headache in traditional payroll. How does this programmable money handle that?
Ah, yes. The essay calls this the payroll deduction revolution. And it really could be. Stablecoins turn deductions from this complex, often opaque administrative burden into something transparent and programmable.
How would that work in practice?
Well, think smart contract benefits. Your health insurance premium, your 401k contribution, instead of going through multiple intermediaries, the smart contract could automatically deduct the correct amount and send it directly to the insurance provider or the investment fund, instantly.
Cutting out middlemen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then transparent deduction tracking. Because it's on a blockchain, every single deduction becomes a verifiable transaction. Employees could see clearly and in real time exactly where every cent deducted from their pay is going, much clearer than a traditional pay stub.
Transparency would be huge.
Definitely. Then there's programmable compliance, tax withholdings, unemployment insurance. Imagine smart contracts automatically calculating the right amounts based on regulations and sending them directly to the relevant government agencies. Reduces errors, reduces compliance costs for the employer.
Okay, that sounds almost too good to be true for HR departments.
It's a major potential efficiency gain. And finally, flexible benefit allocation. Because it's programmable, employees could potentially adjust how their deductions are allocated, maybe more to savings one month, adjust insurance choices almost immediately. That kind of flexibility is just impossible with today's rigid, batch-based payroll cycles.
Okay, this is really painting a picture of a completely redesigned system. And looking even further out, the source mentioned something pretty futuristic, but maybe logical. Employer-issued stablecoins, like Walmart paying you in WalBucks.
Right. It sounds a bit sci-fi, but when you break it down, it actually makes a certain kind of business sense, especially for massive corporations.
How so? What are the drivers there?
Well, first, Corporate treasury efficiency. Big companies manage enormous amounts of cash. If they issue their own stablecoin for payroll, they could potentially earn interest on the float, the money sitting in employee accounts before it's spent. Plus, if employees use WalBucks to shop at Walmart.
Instant settlement, no credit card fees for Walmart.
Exactly. Big savings there. Second, it creates ecosystem lock-in. If you're paid in WalBucks, you're probably more likely to shop at Walmart to avoid converting the currency. Suppliers might even start accepting WalBucks for B2B payments. It builds a powerful network effect around the company.
A walled garden, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Then you have enhanced employee benefits. They could offer unique perks tied to their stablecoin, maybe a higher yield on your WalBucks balance than a bank offers. Automatic discounts in-store, exclusive access, things that are easy with programmable money.
Okay, and what about the regulatory side? Could Walmart just mint its own money?
That's where things like the Genius Act come in again. The thinking is that under such frameworks, large, reputable corporations could potentially obtain federal banking licenses specifically to issue stablecoins, maybe even under more favorable terms than traditional banks face. We're already seeing precedents like JP Morgan's JPM coin, now JPMD, being used for institutional settlement on public blockchains like Base. So the idea isn't completely out there.
Fascinating. So we've looked at why retail stalled, the huge upsides for payroll, the fact that infrastructure is basically ready or easily integrated, and this potential future of employer coins. What's the final knockout argument? Why is this shift, this payroll revolution, truly inevitable?
I think it boils down to the network effects being fundamentally different from retail. Retail had that chicken and egg problem. No one uses it because no merchants accept it, and no merchants accept it because no one uses it.
Right.
Payroll flips that. When a company starts paying employees in stablecoins, it immediately creates demand. Those employees now have stablecoins they need to use or convert. They become the seeds of an ecosystem. And crucially, it solves the onboarding problem. How do regular people get crypto easily? The employer just gives it to them as salary.
The employer becomes the on-ramp.
Precisely. Combine that natural adoption pathway with Circle's IPO signaling institutional buy-in, those undeniable massive cost savings for businesses, it just creates this powerful momentum. And the readiness is there. The essay cited 86% of payment providers saying their systems can handle stablecoins, big players like ADP piloting instant payments. It just seems like all the pieces are falling into place.
Yeah, it feels like the technology's mature, the regulations are getting clearer, or at least there's a path, and the business case is just incredibly strong. It's not about convincing you or me to ditch our credit cards anymore. It's about businesses looking at their bottom line, looking at global operations, looking at talent retention, and realizing paying people this way is just better business.
Right.
Smarter, more efficient.
Exactly. It's a pull, not a push.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway feels like maybe that retail payment dream, the coffee buying revolution, maybe that was always a bit of a misdirection.
Or at least not the first wave.
Right. But this payroll revolution, it's not a future prediction. It's happening now, quietly reshaping how money moves behind the scenes, how businesses operate globally.
Absolutely. And maybe the really interesting thought to leave people with is this. The future of money isn't just about how you buy things. It's deeply connected to how you earn it, how you get paid. If your employer can issue programmable money directly to you and you start demanding that, well, what other parts of our financial lives could suddenly become programmable, transparent, instant, in ways we haven't even really started to think about yet?